Episode 6 is crazy.
This is the finale of season 1.
This is the finale of season 1.
All right.
Let's give ourselves that.
Let's give ourselves a
whole
hand.
season.
A whole
6-episode season.
Mm-hmm. And only the beginning of a journey. And that's
an amazing journey.
An amazing journey.
I enjoyed this whole season.
Yeah, me too.
See, here's the thing. You had to convince me to do this. Like, it worked.
Tell everyone more.
We've been working on this for how many years?
Well, not this, but it's
idea
of this, right?
For how long?
A minute. I remember Uvu?
Uvu.
Is that what it was called?
Uvu. We had an idea back then when we were I was like early 20s.
Right, early 20s.
But then the lives and manifesting
the pandemic
lab. So this thing, like we always had this in the back of our mind, like we wanted to do this and
yeah, you're right.
like a show. We wanted to do a show in 2020. So this has been in the works for 5 years.
Yeah. And it's all just come to a head. And everything has just lined up perfectly. You know?
It has. It has.
And it's crazy, too, when you look back just at time and how time can just come and go and you look up and years have passed and you think about all of these seeds that were planted that you didn't even know what they were going to bloom into.
Yeah. That's why this felt so organic because we had been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
And we say this every episode, but we talk all the time. But this whole podcast talk show, this whole thing was slowly coming together. And now we are at our season finale of our first season with 6 fully recorded episodes.
I love it.
It's beautiful.
I love it. How you feel?
I feel accomplished.
Okay.
I feel excited.
Good.
I'm just ready. Like this, I don't feel drained at all. I don't feel like, oh my God, I'm glad that's over. Like that is not any of my emotions when it comes to this at all. I feel good about this. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, totally.
I enjoyed it, I'll admit, way more than I thought I would.
Totally.
How about you? How do you feel?
I feel great. And it's interesting that you're saying I don't feel drained or exhausted because and, you know, we've talked about so many things. We've talked about rest. We've talked about, like, physical and mental health. And,
alignment.
Yeah, you know. And it's interesting because a lot of my friends lately were, like, getting into supplements more. Like, supplements, collagen, vitamins. Just, like, really thinking about how, like, wow, like, we have to be intentional now about how we feel. Not just about the things that we're doing, but just, like, on a day-to-day basis.
Like, physically.
You know, because we're growing, we're getting older. Because when you say Uvu early 20s, I'm like, I can't even recall the early 20s, like what it was like, what my body felt like. So now at 38, because I'm proud of that.
Yeah, and 39, soon to be 40.
You know what I mean?
You know what's crazy? Episode 1, I wouldn't have said that.
Why
I ain't gonna lie, because I don't know if I felt the sound of that. But I've done over this last few months, I've done work purposely on my socials about aging.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I need to step into this because it's not changing.
It's not changing.
It's not. I'm getting closer and closer to 40.
to 50.
It's 50 because sometimes I feel 60. And I own that because it's real.
It's real.
I'm not 20 years old. My nephew's 20 years old.
Wow.
I'm not 20 years old.
Isn't that something?
It's amazing. And it's beautiful to be able to live for 40 years and still be able to get up and have projects with your friends and travel the world. Like, it's a beautiful experience.
It's a blessing.
I'm 40. People be like, why are you 40? Yes, I'm 40 years old, sweetheart.
Wow.
I'm a grown man, baby.
And it's funny you said that because I had a moment when I was like, because I'm 38. Like, I did have a moment where I was like, am I about to drop my age right now?
Drop it.
I'm dropping it.
I love that.
And there's no discomfort in it because I'm proud of what I have done. I'm proud of what I feel like. There's like this big debate now in the mom community of like, you know, for the first time in history, there are more moms who are becoming mothers for the first time in their 40s than teen moms.
Oh, I saw that.
Right.
That's true.
And it's true.
Credible source.
Credible source.
Wow.
And you can see it. You know, the generations are shifting.
Yeah.
You know, things are changing. And so there's been this debate about how, like, would you have wanted to have your children earlier or later? And so much of the conversation is surrounding, I feel like so much more of an assured human being later in my life than I ever would feel earlier.
Wow.
You know, and so, of course, there's an intention with how you're taking care of your body, given that maybe you might enter something like motherhood that is very physically demanding. But I think back, I'm like, this is the version of myself that I want my children to see. This one, 38-year-old Maya.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
And I've seen it. In our conversations, I've seen it. And I've learned from you, pour into your people. Because it feels weird when I'm like, no, I'm going to pour into my people. And in this moment, I see and I experience a grown woman. in our conversations, how you created this beautiful family inside and out. Like, you've done your big one. You should be. Yeah, I'm 38 years old.
Thank you.
Because your stuff is together. It's not, and it don't just look like it's together. I've been in your home. I've been around your family. You have created a beautiful environment that reflects a grown woman.
I appreciate that.
So yeah, you are 38.
I appreciate that.
I love it.
And the mirror, because I'm over there looking like, that's a grown man hat you got on, brother.
Josh, where you at with it? You see the hat? You see that?
That's a real live hat, y'all.
This is an aging hat.
That's an aging hat. That's a hat that in your age you would have the wherewithal to say, you know, I'm going to spend a little money on this hat.
I'm going to spend a little money on, this is a Stetson.
That's a Stetson.
Y'all Google that.
I saw the box that hat came out of. That's a real hat.
It is in a box.
But it's interesting, right? Because age... I'm over here like mesmerized by this hat.
When I pulled this hat out, she stood and looked at me like... I was like, hello?
I said, I thought a stallion was about to come out the bag with that hat on. But what I love,
golly,
something not talked about with age is how you start to garner an appreciation for things in a certain way that you didn't before.
Like this hat. I appreciate it. This is a piece.
Yeah, that's a piece. It's timeless.
It's timeless. My great-great-great-granddaddy probably was a cowboy. And probably had something like this.
No, he was a cowboy.
He was a cowboy. If we're going to really go there, he had something like this. I'm not going to Target or TJ Maxx to get no hat. I'm a grown 40-year-old man.
Wow.
I'm going to get me a grown 40-year-old hat. And
there's a new appreciation for things.
Quality.
Yeah.
The quality of life
is quality different. Of life and even just the slowing down. There's a moment that you have that say, you know, I'm going to get me a hat.
It was.
You know, I'm going to peruse the store. I'm going to take my time and I'm going to honor and appreciate the time that I have and the means that I have and everything that I've built up into this moment. So, yeah, we're talking about a hat. But in the larger grand scheme of things, right, age has garnered an appreciation for life. Yeah. For me, that I'm looking forward to growing and continuing. What more has age given you?
It's given me a lot of clarity.
Ooh.
I've learned and I've been training myself to take a step back. Take a step back.
Yeah.
And really see what's happening, understand what's happening, and make your decisions based off what you want to do, what I want to do.
Yeah.
And be okay with, like we shared in maybe episode 2 or 3, I don't do anything I don't want to do. And with age, I've become more comfortable with that because I don't have the answer to anybody. Yeah. And I love that. That being a single man, I don't have to answer to anyone. And I love that. So that freeness and the ability to kind of step back and navigate my life the way I like it, I love that. And it's taken me a while to get there because as we know, you know, like I don't answer to nobody.
Yeah.
And I love that. So that's why I'm 40 years old and I love it.
Wow.
I love it.
That's awesome. I think about that when you're saying like I don't have to answer to anyone. And one of the things for me with age is I'm loving how I feel so much more comfortable trusting myself. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like it's this idea that I don't have to answer to anyone but myself. as a married woman and a mother.
That's real.
Right? And there's a consideration for my family, obviously, but there's just this intuition and the development of like my intuitive mind that has come with age that I love. Just feeling something, thinking something, and trusting the voice of that.
Wow.
And I see that a lot in clinical work, just this, this fear in trusting self, that intuitive voice, So I've done a lot of work with clients on how to foster not only the hearing, but the listening of that inner voice, right? So things as simple as, do you have a space in your home that you go to that allows you to feel centered and grounded enough to hear yourself and trust yourself?
Wow. That's that mindfulness piece that you are just addicted to.
It's the wave.
You live your life through that,
It's
though.
the wave.
Ooh.
Being present and honoring the experiences that I've had over the past 38 years that say, like, you're informed and you can trust yourself on this.
Yeah.
And if you do find that you're going in a direction that maybe didn't turn out how you thought it would, you can trust that you're going to be able to switch gears.
I think for me, that's a step back piece for me. Like, if things are working well and you've made these decisions, these informed decisions that have garnered like really, really positive and beautiful and these amazing results, then you have to trust yourself. Because it's hard to do life for 40 years. And then when you take a step back, like, this stuff is piecing together, right? Maybe I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like, you have to convince yourself of that because that's a part of the aging process.
Wow.
Like, when you're younger, we just out here trying to figure it out. I mean, me and one of my close friends, we joke about college all the time where we have no money. I don't know how we made it day to day, but we were just like, I guess this makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? One of the most joyous occasions ever, my college experience. But now things are piecing together and it's like, I know it. Like, I'm not guessing anymore.
Yeah.
The guessing stage is over.
Right.
With aging comes results. And it's like, what have you done over these last 40 years where you can take a step back and look like, okay, this is making sense. I have to trust that I've been doing the right things because the results are here.
Yeah.
So that's a part of the aging process that I think is connected to me and me stepping back in my process. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Where do you see age coming up for you with like client work?
To be honest, it's two different experiences. I have my youngest client was 15.
Okay.
And then my oldest or most aged client is about to retire soon.
Wow.
So just having that span, right? One is a blessing. But two, aging is a process.
Yeah.
Because you're 15, you're aging. Because it's puberty, it's dating, it's understanding family dynamics. Like, I'm growing up, but my parents still see me as a kid, blah, blah. And then you get to the older aging adults where it's like retirement.
Right.
It's like, what does this look like? And how do I transition from what I've done for 40, 50 years to now I'm not working or answering to anyone or punching in a clock? So it's the adjustment and the transition piece that happens throughout life. That's a process as opposed to just us because we're 40.
That's good.
It's a consistent and a continuous thing. So those transitional skills are imperative in therapy because it's an ongoing process.
Yeah.
Because aging doesn't stop.
Never stops.
Until you dead in the ground.
Stops.
It doesn't stop until it stops. But right now, if you're above ground, you're actively in your aging process.
Right.
That's a word.
That's a word. You're actively in your aging process. One of my favorite courses in grad school in my master's program. Shout out to the George Washington University.
The George Washington University.
DC.
Yeah.
Gotta have the was just human development and the recognition that like at every turn, people are entering spaces that they've never been in before. And sometimes we look at people who are eons, beyond us.
Yeah.
And there's a wisdom there, of course, but they're also navigating things, just like you're saying, that they've never navigated before. And I can think about some of the clients that I've worked with who have been much older than me.
Yeah.
And you see it in real time. And I think that's the empathy that we have as clinicians, is to see the full breadth of life. I mean, I've worked with children as young as 5 and people as old as 65. And to see that there is a journey and a process in each of these developmental stages is wild. Not to mention in our own families, you can see, you know, whether you have small children. I mean, I've been blessed even just to see like a newborn. Sometimes me and my husband look at our children and we're like, I remember they couldn't even hold their head up. Now they tearing up this furniture. And
with yogurt everywhere.
With yogurt everywhere. Go-gurt. And it's mind-blowing.
Strawberry flavor.
And it's mind-blowing because it's like, wow, you're watching something in real time. But I'm seeing a lot too that we're also seeing our parents enter new spaces of development in life.
And grandparents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, that's something that I've seen a lot lately is just the parental piece. Have you like noticed that and really taken a step back and said like, wow, like my parents are entering a new phase of life?
Yeah, especially with our cohort, right? The clients that I see, again, aging comes up often, and then we get reminded of our closest loved ones aging.
Yeah.
And it's tough because we come from this whole cohort where we're grinding, getting things done. Like we own it. And it's like aging in those stark examples of, hey, my grandmother's getting old. It stops us. And it's like, wait, she needs you now. He needs you now. They're aging and an emergency happened and we need you to kind of translate all the energy to taking care of your family.
Wow.
So a lot of our clients, or a lot of my clients are, especially in our cohort, are dealing with the pause of what they're experiencing on an individual level and shifting to now I'm having to take care and be more vigilant and I guess more in tune with what's going on with my aging adult parents.
Wow.
So that is something that's coming up often that I don't feel like that we talk about just in general. We don't really want to talk, because it's grief attached to that, right?
Sure.
We don't want to talk about that.
Sure.
We stop at married, kids, house, we're good. It's like there's a whole nother part of life that we experience. Like you said, the human development piece, that's a piece as well. So I want to add to that. I see why you like psychodynamic, because if human development was your favorite course, then psychodynamic is geek therapy moment. Sorry, we have those too. But yeah, I got that. But yeah, that's what comes up with my clients a lot. That I can't even find the word. That example of my parents are aging.
Yeah.
And what does that mean for me?
What does that mean for me? And getting to the grief piece, I've also seen in the recognition that my parents are aging, I'm seeing a lot of my clients see who their parents really are from a humanistic standpoint for the first time.
What do you mean?
So the recognition that that moment where you're like, when you're young, you see your parent and you almost put them on a pedestal.
Okay.
Right?
Ooh,
They can do no wrong. Like, this is my parent.
I get you.
But as you get older and you get a little more life experience and you start to understand people and human beings more, you start to say like, oh, you got some stuff with you.
Got some stuff with you.
And
you don't listen like I thought you did. Right? You're supposed to take your medicine. You're not taking it. You're not supposed to be eating that.
Or you're really insecure.
Oh, are you gonna go deep? Are you gonna go there?
Because I've seen that a lot. I've seen things like that a lot. Like, you know, you may have someone who you realize that their parent has maybe been more impacted by their childhood traumas. And it influenced maybe their parenting, and where it was something that you thought like, oh, that's something that they know how to navigate or get past. But now you're in your 30s, 40s, and nothing has changed. Ooh. And you have to take a step back and say like, wow, this is who you are. You're a human being, and this is who you are.
Wow. Do you think that with seeing your parents as, or from this humanistic standpoint, you have to get to a certain age to see that?
I do, because I think well, maybe not age necessarily as much as you have to have a certain understanding and knowledge about life and people. So what I mean by that is, because I think, again, therapists are also trained, like, there's, ageism is a thing.
It's a thing, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Literally.
Like, that, it's the reason we know very young people who are wise beyond their years. I'm not just going to dismiss someone because they're young. They may have certain experiences that gives them a wealth of knowledge that a much older person doesn't have.
True.
And so I think it's also comes a lot when someone is on their own healing journey and they start to begin to understand what healthy living and mental health looks like. And then they see like, oh, you don't really have that. Or maybe that's not something that you've touched, or you're telling me to do something that I know now, given my experience and my own journey and my willingness to learn, isn't really appropriate or conducive for high level living.
I'm speechless. So this is really the finale, clearly, because you're in your bag with that.
This stuff comes out every day because listen, I'm not just, and I know you're like this too.
Sure.
I'm not just a therapist who's sitting here, like, I'm absorbing what people are saying, and I'm recognizing that everything that I'm getting from my clients is also knowledge for my practice and for the next.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm not just like on the phone with somebody listening to what happened last week. It's a lifestyle.
It's real.
I'm absorbing this and connecting pieces and looking at patterns and understanding how that stands up to the research, and like, wow, right? Statistics come into play with all of this. So when I see it, I'm like, wow, this is a thing. Recognizing when someone is who they are going to be. And there's a physical grief that you mentioned, but there's also a mental grief of maybe grieving the idea of someone. And I see that a lot in people's parents. Like, they have to enter a grieving process with what they thought someone would be able to give them, or who they thought they were.
Or who they thought that they would be.
Who they thought they would be. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That grief is the part that I feel like stings the most, because it's so hurtful. And it's with certain parts of grief and loss, there's just acceptance.
Yeah.
You can't change anything.
That's it.
There's nothing you can do. And we come from a very do fix culture.
Yeah.
And it's like, with some forms of grief and loss, there's nothing you can do but grieve. And that is hard to accept for a lot of people.
Sure.
And with aging, and like you just shared, the internal work that people do, they gain that awareness of, this is a situation right now that I can't fix. And I have to accept. And that's when the hurt and the heartbreak and the tears and the things that are extremely uncomfortable, that comes secondary to grief. People don't want to experience that stuff.
People don't want to experience. It's extremely scary. And to your point, I think it's very invisible because, I have a lot of friends around me. I'm watching them. So going back to that grief piece. So once you get to that point of acceptance, I think it's almost like this portal to say, like, okay, now that I've accepted who this person is and what the state of things are, and I even realize how to accept things at a greater level in my own life, now I think that can lend itself to true empathetic caregiving of someone.
Ooh.
Yeah.
If you were to guess, how many, percentage-wise, our cohort, how many of those people would you guess that factor in caregiving of their parents in their whole lifespan and talk freely and open about it, percentage-wise?
Well, when you said to talk freely and open about it, and this is just a guess.
A guess, yeah.
This sounds so low, but like, I won't even say like 3%.
Yeah.
Here's why. Because I'm watching this. I'm watching it in real time. Like, I visit friends. I check in on people.
You do. You do that for real.
I really, really do, because I care. Like, how's your mom?
she don't mind asking about Tab. She don't mind asking about, how's your mom doing?
Like, how's your dad doing?
And she might go by your mama's house for real.
No, really. I will visit parents.
I tell you are a grounder. I tell you that.
And also I realized that, when you grow up with someone, you get to know their parents.
You know that, like, you grow up with their parents.
You grow up with them, but
yes.
But I'm also observing lately, and I'm navigating it myself as a friend, that none of them are really talking about it. And I'm looking and I'm like, how's your mom? Okay, now, Maya, in my brain,
Yeah.
now you need to ask how your friend is doing, because this actually looks really, really hard. And I'll go a step further since it's the finale.
Yeah,
you know,
please.
because I think this is a really real topic. Because I recently made this observation when I visited a really good friend who has moved their parents into their home
Yeah.
to take care of them.
Which is a normal thing, by the way.
It's a normal thing that because of our age, we're now seeing it. Maybe we even saw our parents do it, but I don't think it resonated.
It didn't.
You know what I mean? And you know, so, and not for nothing, like my mother passed away when she was 43 years old. I have friends who are 43 years old now. And if there could ever be pros to losing a parent that young, right? Of course, you want them to see things and you want them to be here. But I was telling my husband recently, I was like, it's dawned on me, I have a piece of me, if I dare say, I'm kind of glad I never have to see her age. I don't have to watch that process.
Wow.
And so now I'm looking at my friends watching their parents age, and I'm feeling very afraid for them.
Why?
Because I'm like, this looks hard. There's this anticipatory grief of your parents.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's and so that's what prompts me to try to figure out, like, man, how do I show up as a friend for my parent, for a friend who is watching their parents get old or face major health issues, not small things anymore.
Yes.
You know what I mean? What's that been like for you?
In what sense?
Not only watching your friends, but your own experience.
It's like you share. I don't know. It's tough to watch.
Yeah.
And then culturally, like I shared in our cohort, we do.
Yeah.
And it's like there's some things you can't do. And you have to just sit, accept, and prepare for the grief.
Yeah.
Because the grief is there.
The grief is there.
It's there now.
It's there now.
And people don't want, again, I'm going to say that the grief is there now. Our parents, if they're still here, they're aging daily. The grief is there now.
Wow.
And it's like, I'm glad we're having this conversation, and we purposely had this conversation out loud because these are the conversations we should be. Yeah, we 39, 40, yeah, but our parents are aging too.
Yeah.
And those are the conversations we should be having. Like, are we preparing for that? Because in the next 10, 15 years, they may have to move in with you. Do you have room for them? Have you figured those things out? Have you done a will?
Have you allowed yourself to think about that?
Have you thought about it at all?
Not for nothing, and I know this isn't parental, but I know you mentioned Gunner like an episode or two ago.
Shout out to Young G.
Young Gunner. I remember watching a really good friend's dog age.
Yeah.
And I remember watching this dog age, and it was like, I said, okay, lean into the discomfort of the fact that your friend isn't mentioning anything about this at all.
Yeah.
And I vividly remember being like, what are you going to do about?
Yeah.
And for the first time, you can see the bells go off like, I do have to think about this. I do have to think about this, which is I appreciate the friends in my life who ask about grief and ask me about the hard things, because on the one end, like my inside is panicking, but on the other end, I'm like, man, not only do I realize how much you care about me and love me, but you're willing to go there with me.
I had to train myself to receive that.
Receive what part?
When people ask the hard things. Because I come from a very private family. It feels invasive.
Ooh.
It's like you're being nosy.
Wow.
And it's like, Greg, they're not. They know you. They know your family. Why wouldn't they ask? They ask other
everything
people.
Else.
they ask other people. Why wouldn't they ask you?
Wow.
And I had to retrain myself to understand that these people genuinely care about me. So there's sometimes I'll even offer it because some people may be afraid to ask. But if your friendships are really rooted in trust and loyalty and genuine care, you should give them that.
You should be. You should. So how do you ask or tap in with friends about things like their parents or things about like grief or, you know, just the life stage that we're in, some of the hard things that come up surrounding that?
Beautiful question. I think again, I try to take advantage of the fact that I'm a clinician and our brains are trained to think differently.
Yeah.
So I try to, as a clinician, live in my work. So I ask questions like this. Like, if your mom is sick, your dad is sick, and I have a connection to them or you, I'll send flowers.
Yeah.
I'm really big. I actually learned that from you. You send flowers. You send cards. You do those things.
Cards.
She ain't typing up nothing. Handwritten cards. Those things ground people because media just takes away so many humanistic experiences. And you do so well with that. So I adopted those practices to where if your cousin's having that I know really well and we're connected is having surgery, I'm going to send a goodwill bouquet.
Yeah.
Because it grounds people. And having conversations like this, because marriage and kids, those things are beautiful.
Yeah.
But your parents are aging. Yeah. And have you had those conversations and the avoidance in that? It's like we can't avoid these things because we done seen the videos, the YouTubes, people acting a fool. And it's like, if we have these conversations out loud now, it prevents that stuff.
Wow.
So that's why I actively reach out and ask the tough questions.
Right.
And send flowers and send messages because those things they mean a lot. And they're needed to help people navigate their grief in a healthy way. I initiate it.
Absolutely. And a lot of times people don't ask because they're like, I don't want to trigger them.
Yeah.
But I think the beauty of it from like a friendship standpoint is if you're going to be triggered in this moment, I'm going to be right here with you.
I'm here with you.
I'm going to be right here with you. It's triggering for me to ask.
That's real.
You know, so that's why it's so important to cultivate sound friendships where when you talk about being invasive, I also think about how it's such an invisible experience taking care of your parents because no one's meeting at the bar and saying, you know, so last night I had to bring out, you know, so it can become a very isolating place for people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why I appreciate the relationships that we built with our clients where they can feel like they have a safe space to talk about those things. But we need to build up that safety with one another too.
Mm-hmm. Do you, or have you as a clinician guided clients through this process of aging and through like the caretaking dynamic?
Oh, I mean, I've spent extensive months guiding someone from sickness to death.
Wow.
And then on the other side of that, because now there's a door that someone has walked through where they have to live a completely different life with someone, a mother, a father, a dog, a child. I mean, you know, this is what it is all about, right? And so absolutely.
Wow.
You know, and to remember the death dates and the anniversaries and helping someone prepare for, okay, it's going to be a year next week. Okay, so let's talk about that.
Yeah.
How are we going to do this? You know, what do we need to expect? How can we navigate that? And then the next session, well, how did last week go? I know Tuesday was...
Asking the tough questions.
You have to. If you're going to be doing the work, right?
If you're going to do the work.
If you're going to do the work, do the work.
Do the work.
Speaking of work, we should have a letter.
Is it time for letter already?
It's about time.
It's about time for letter.
But this letter is gonna burst it open because I love how this platform is a vessel for us to share the humanity of therapy and you know, recognize and honor the work that our clients have done. But this is everyone. No one is exempt from these things.
It's impossible to. You can't.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. To the letter. All right. I'm a 39-year-old, no kids, unmarried. I'm sorry. Start over. I'm 39 years old, no kids, unmarried, and the one everyone calls when there's a crisis. My father had a fall last month, and suddenly I'm the point person. Talking to the doctors, sorting through his paperwork, trying to decide if it's time for him to move out of his home. He still calls me baby girl, but now waits for me to tell him what to do and what happens next. That shift has broken something open in me. I've always been the ambitious one, the reliable one, but not the nurturing one. The role belonged to my sister who passed away 5 years ago. Now it's just me. Wow. And I feel like I'm being asked to be someone I've never imagined I'd have to be. What's hard to admit is that I resent how invisible this part is. There's no celebration or support when you're the daughter making care plans or washing your parents' dishes in silence. People talk about aging parents like it's logical, but I'm grieving in real time. How do you care for someone you love deeply while mourning the version of them that you remember? And how do you hold space for your own life when no one is holding space for you? 39-year-old woman, New Jersey.
When no one
Those
is
are
holding
hard
space.
to read.
I bet.
They get harder and harder.
All right, I saw your throat tighten up a little bit.
They get harder and harder to read because
But this is real life.
Because you know why? Because it's, as a clinician, my mind just goes to all the things that this person is experiencing. It's not just, hey, I'm taking care of my dad. That's it. These letters are multi-layered.
Yeah.
And that's why it's like, it's heavy to read because I'm reading it, obviously, but I'm also internalizing this person's experiences and then having the clinical thoughts of what treatment will look like all at the same time.
So much to manage.
So much to manage when I'm just reading. It's
Well, you've got the grief. Even to what you just said, I'm thinking about, wow, this woman is facing a whole new level of decision making that she's never, and there are many of them on the tail end of the grief of her sibling.
I was thinking of all that while I was reading that. This is crazy.
Yeah.
It's heavy. Like and then for her to have to switch gears immediately and her to tap into this person that she's not. She's like, I'm not a nurturer. That's not my strong suit. But now I'm having to force myself as a 39-year-old woman to learn how to nurture someone as I'm grieving them at the same time. And I have expectations because I'm not married. I don't have kids. You're up next.
Wow.
It's like, so now I'm a parent? I went 39 years with no kids. I'm a parent now. Whole different experience, all while mourning the loss of her sister and her granddad.
Wow.
All at the same time.
And even as I hear that, it's like there's this duel between emotion and like business. It's like I have to handle business.
Yeah.
But I also am faced with a completely different set of emotional experiences. And it's like, how do I do those things alongside each other, sometimes at the same time? Like what? I'm over here like a referral would be enough.
A referral would
But
probably
again,
be right.
but we've been here with people. We've been here with
Of
clients.
course.
I mean, you know, I've definitely sat across from someone who has been going through some of these same things. So, you know, of course you empathize for someone, and then this is again that component of entering a new life space.
Yeah.
Like there's a learning curve that she's entering. So I would even pose to you, like, how do you, if you're not a nurturer or you're not something, how do you suddenly begin to become that person or settle into that? How would you guide someone towards assuming even maybe emotional responsibilities that they've never had to before?
I'm glad you asked that question because I was thinking like, what would I do as a provider and a clinician? And it's so many elements of this to where this would have to be broken down because it's so multi-layered. And we asked that question about nurturing, that is literally opening up a whole different part of someone's brain that literally hasn't been used.
Wow.
So you have to literally educate them and walk them through. Rewire their whole brain on how to be a nurturer. You know how long that takes?
Or even just what nurturing looks like.
What it looks like.
Yeah.
What to do, because some people come like, so do I say this or do I not? Is that too harsh? It's a whole different thing.
Sure.
And sometimes it's too overwhelming to where some people back out of things like this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're like, oh, no, I'm good.
I don't have the capacity for this.
I don't have the capacity for this. I'm okay. So this is, again, the ideal client that's consistent and that's determined to fill this role. That's a whole different population as opposed to someone that's like, I ain't about to do all this.
I'm so glad you said that because so much that I think is misunderstood about therapy is I think we've said this before, no one's going to sit here and tell you what you should be doing or what to do.
Go ahead.
And as much as, we can work towards the rewiring of your brain towards nurture, we can also talk about how it looks to say, I don't have the capacity and I need to back away from this. If that's what you deem is necessary and something that has to happen for your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm so glad that you mentioned that.
Yeah, it's real. It's you when they say meet clients where they are, sometimes they're in that place.
Yeah.
And you work them through acceptance of that. Because I can't make you change your mind and say, well, you need to go take care of your mama. I can't make you do that.
Right.
You're like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I've thought of 1,000 reasons. I don't want to do that. I meet you where you are and we figure that out.
Yeah.
But it's very, very complex. And it's so, again, there's so many layers to it, but some people do it well. They walk through it and it's a process, and some people try and it's a different process, and some people say, no, I don't want to do this. So it's so many different ways to look at it too. So
yeah. And I think there's something to be said about, because I see this a lot in therapy as well. Not all siblings are created the same.
Oh my God. I love our siblings to death, but we are so different. All of us.
Not all siblings are created the same. And so, I'm hearing her basically say, I have to do this by myself. Yeah. But I've also similarly worked with people who say, I'm the only one stepping up to do this. It's all falling on me. And it may be reversed where it's like, and I have kids and a family and a whole bunch of other responsibilities, and they don't, and they're not doing it. Right? So now you're dealing with the emotions of that even.
Yeah.
I don't have anybody to help me. Because that's what I'm hearing that would also have to be addressed with this woman is the isolation of it all.
Yeah. Right. No support. I'm feeling forced into this role, and I don't have any support.
Wow. And which means now I have to also consider, maybe even within therapy, how do I go about identifying or recognizing what the resources are for this? Because there are resources, and I'm quick to give clients a resource. Like, you know what, I'm gonna send you something right after this to assist with this, or have you heard of this organization or something? There may be situations where, again, as isolating as the caregiving in general, caregiving is exhausting.
It's a full-time job.
It's a full-time job, physically, mentally, emotionally.
Financially.
Caregiving is intense. And so there's that whole thing. It's this idea that now I have to learn about caregiving, which is a whole world in and of itself.
Think about learning about caregiving when you don't have kids. That's, again, a different dynamic. Like, sometimes it comes more natural to people that have children. You've reared children, but it's like, I've been rearing myself.
Sure.
So it's yeah. But yeah, go ahead.
No, yeah. I mean, the isolation piece, it's like, let's really talk about what community looks like in this. And I'm big on community. I don't think I think healing happens in community. I think grieving happens in community. Mothering happens in community. I think everything happens in community. And we are responsible for finding that and connecting with it. Nobody is meant to do any of this by themselves, contrary to popular belief.
Wow. Grieving in community too.
Oh yeah, grieving is done in community.
Wow.
Think about it. Think about how people come together. Look, as messy as it can get. There's a coming together that happens, and there's a reason for that. It's a very community driven experience and process.
Yeah. There has to be a shift in the culture for this.
What do you think the shift is?
Where it is now, where it should be.
Both. Where is it now and where should it be?
I think that it's a private thing. Like, things are like private. Like, there's that, I don't know if it's a fear or it's like an embarrassment or what, but it's like the culture of what happens in my house, what happens in my family, stays in my family, that whole thing. There's a barrier there that kind of prevents the community piece of grief. Outside the funerals, after that, and it's like, this is our thing.
Yeah.
And I think that community is so powerful. And I don't know if I hear often that community should be attached to grief and it should be this intertwined and this connected experience. I don't know if I hear that often, and it should be. Because there's so much you can learn, so many resources you can get, so many different forms of support. that we need, as opposed to just tucking the grief away and we're going to act like this didn't happen. So community prevents the unhealthy acceptance and the unhealthy navigation of grief, I think.
Yeah, wow.
I like that. Wow.
Well, everyone has gifts too, right?
Absolutely.
Everyone has gifts, and I think that's the beauty of community, is that within a community, people can contribute in so many different ways. You know, I think we have to challenge the notion that the support of someone grieving or caretaking looks like this, as opposed to tap in, where are my strengths and what is it that I can do?
Right.
I think the most beautiful thing you can do for someone is just doing it.
Yeah, that's it.
Not asking. Asking is beautiful, but can you imagine asking this sister, let me know what you need.
Let me know what you need.
It's like, I'll add that to the million other decisions and
Right.
have to make,
Show up.
as opposed to recognizing, like, you know what? I know how to make quilts.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make a quilt that she can give to her daddy.
that's real.
And some people will be like, those small things go such a long way.
That's so real. This is so real. It's so real. Because I can't even find the words, because you're 100% accurate with, and I think to add to that, the grief and the support in the community happens outside the funeral.
Ooh, yeah.
The funeral is like okay, sure.
Yeah.
But what about after?
Right.
2 months after, 2 years after, because grief doesn't stop, right?
Yeah.
It's like the community and the support is after the funeral. And that's when the quilts come in, the phone calls. Hey, I just sent you some food today.
Yeah.
Those things, the things that you do naturally, those should be applied to community and to the grieving process. Love that.
Well, and I don't even know how natural I do them, because I watch my mother do this for people. So in my eyes, this is how you take care of people in your life.
Yeah.
This is how you show up for people.
Yeah.
I can remember going with my mother to sit at her friend's mama's house. Her mom wasn't even there. We in there watching Gunsmoke.
You're like, Mom, can we leave? She's like, if you say it one more time, we'll go ahead.
And she's just spending time with someone and understanding what that means for people, what that means for her friend who's caregiving and now can just for a moment release I don't want to go so far as to say burden, that's not the word, but the energy that it takes to caregive. You know what I mean? And so what I'm even hearing us talk about and with her is recognizing, like, while it feels isolated and like I have to do this alone, I don't have to do this alone, for one.
Yeah.
And for two, I can step into and recognize that people have done this before me. People are going to do this after me. And I can maybe utilize that knowledge to say, I need to figure out how this is done, as opposed to rely on myself to just know. Right.
Giving yourself grace.
That's it.
That's it.
Giving yourself grace.
To figure it out.
Yeah.
And the clinical piece, when clients come, is rooted in that. I say this all the time. One of my favorite quotes is, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
I say that all the time, because life is tough. Grief is tough. Loss is tough.
Aging is tough.
But we'll figure it out. That reassurance and that community piece is important.
Yeah.
And just that mere statement of, we'll figure it out, brings so much relief and just pours into them in ways that, even hearing it now, that has to hit and brings in a level of reassurance. So I like that. Wow.
Yeah. And you know, for friends and people who are entering that space of beginning to caregive for their parents, again, giving grace, but also the recognition that, I love the term when people pass on, a celebration of life.
Love it.
Because just as we came up here and talked about, like, how we're loving aging, well, maybe that's a bit far, but how we're honoring the process.
Honoring it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Honoring the journey, not shying away from it.
There we go.
You know, there we go. Picking out the pieces that are a blessing.
Absolutely.
It's like, man, I have, as much as it's like, man, I didn't have to see this particular parent age. It's also like, wow. Also, you have an opportunity to now begin honoring and being very present with your parent, maybe in ways that you've never done before.
Absolutely.
And what does that look like?
Yeah. It makes me ask, like, and shifting the culture, right? Because that's the goal here, right? What are some things that we can leave listeners and viewers with in regards to being more comfortable with the aging and the grieving process and being able to kind of show up as community and shift that and be supportive? Like, what are some things that we feel like that people could do?
There's so many things. One of the first things I would mention is talk more. Openly. Vulnerability. Right? There's like I said, I'm watching my friends go through this, and they're not saying much about it.
Anything.
And I can understand that.
Yeah.
I can truly understand it.
It's scary.
It's scary. But what would it mean to not feel the pressure of holding that in? Right? And so I think a huge culture shifting component of this, which is what I hope this whole first season provides for people, is the understanding that everybody's going through something.
Everybody.
More people than we know are probably experiencing the exact same stage of life as you are in beginning to now take care of your parents. What would it mean if you were able to openly talk about that with someone for your process?
Yeah.
So I think that's one, openly talking, right? I think the other one is, outside of openly talking to others, openly acknowledging to self what's happening. Because I think too, there can be this thing, if I don't acknowledge it and I don't see it, somehow maybe my brain will dupe itself into thinking it's not happening.
Right.
When it is happening. So there's some maybe inner work that has to happen when it comes to the acceptance of that new stage of life.
Yeah.
The acceptance piece is huge. I think, and working towards that.
I'll add one to that.
Please.
And like you shared, reach out and show up. Reach out, show up, and ask the tough questions.
Yep.
That brings the conversation and prevents us from tucking away and avoiding grief.
Yeah.
And avoiding the aging process that we all are going through.
Avoiding the unavoidable.
The unavoidable is coming. We're in it now.
Yeah.
So those conversations bring so much support. It initiates healing and it prevents avoidance.
This coincides with so many other mental health topics in terms of, because something feels uncomfortable doesn't mean it's not supposed to happen.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so there is an allowing of ourselves to be in spaces that are uncomfortable that has to happen. And so regardless of if it's caregiving of a parent or a sibling or of self, because there's that. I mean, we know people also our age who are now running into some major health issues.
For sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That we had no idea
At
about.
35, 40, yes.
And a lot of these people aren't telling anybody about it. You know? And so there's a checking in that, to your point, that has to happen in order to help each other kind of bridge the gap with these inevitable life experiences.
Yeah.
You know, but again, allowing ourselves to be in a place of discomfort so that we can have those conversations, do the things that need to be done, especially. Yeah. Wow. What are you looking most forward to in your continued aging and growing and all of that?
In my continuous process of aging and growing, I think I'm looking more into really staying or bridging this connection and this solid connection between my mind, my body, and my spirit.
Ooh.
I want it all to be aligned.
Yeah.
Like really because again, you get one. My shout out to Dr. Kelsey Hargrove, one of my mentees, North Carolina Central as well. She would always tell me that her grandmother told her, you only get one body.
Ooh.
You get one body. And making sure that every day I'm connecting my mind, my body, and my spirit.
Wow.
That's where I'm at 40 years old. Yeah. What about you?
Like I said, I've been exploring these supplements.
On a lighter level.
On a lighter note. But no, high key, I'm gonna agree with you because I'm like, I'm like, what is magnesium now?
I'm gonna start doing supplements.
But I want to be here for a long time.
We're gonna talk about supplements offline too, because it might be something you might know about.
Yeah, I'm learning
I ain't
a
got
lot.
there yet, but maybe I
lot.
need to be. It's probably my need, man.
But no, like I'm really getting excited about being way more intentional about taking care of my body.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like my overall health, because I know the impact. I know when I'm taking care of my body and when I'm intentional about my eating and looking at food as medicine and all of these things, I feel better.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
On all those levels that you mentioned, mentally, spiritually, physically. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited about like cooking new recipes and really feeling the impact that they have on my body and just kind of revamping, because there's a point in our lives where we could do whatever we want to eat, whatever, you know, you weren't thinking
whatever.
You weren't thinking twice about it. You know, I like that I get to really kind of re-engage and be more intentional and see the results of that.
I love it. It's
You
showing
know?
up now.
It's showing
up now.
You know, so it ain't too late, but it can be. It can get to a point where it'll be too late.
That's real. That's real.
So make it fun.
Aging.
You know, aging. Wow.
So fruitful.
Yeah. I feel wise.
I feel wise.
You feel wise with a hat on.
It's the hat. It's the hat.
But I would encourage our listeners not to fear aging and to embrace it.
That's why I wore this hat. This a grown man hat, and I wore it on. I want to let y'all know I'm aging. I'm an old brother.
Old and wise.
Old and wise. I love it. I love it.
Absolutely
God is
love
moving.
It. Yeah.
And I'm receiving it. It's coming with age.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And in aging, being okay with being exactly who you are, because that's also not changing.
It ain't changing. It hasn't.
It hasn't changed.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Like, we all know that you're not 25, because I was 25 over 10 years ago. So you're not 25.
You're not 25.
And it's all right.
Not. It's great.
You look great.
So do you. You look great.
So that's it. What would you leave your full circle moment with for our viewers?
Asking the tough questions, having the conversations about grief, and being intentional about following up and checking in on people.
Yeah.
I do that now, but I'm going to push myself to do it more. That's my full circle moment. What's yours?
My full circle moment is just allow yourself to live. You know, don't be so consumed with the aging part of it and get to living. You know, get to existing. The mindfulness piece. Be present with where you are and be thankful for that. You know? Wow. That was season 1.
Season 1. What are our thanks? What are we thankful for before we roll out?
You know what?
Some shout outs.
I'm thankful for opportunity. I'm thankful for 1413 visuals.
1413 visuals.
You know, I'm thankful for people who like believe in the vision. And I'm thankful to be at a place where we can openly share and talk about these topics.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I think I love being a millennial because I think we're so much more in tune with, like, how can I do this thing right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, let's be vulnerable. Let's openly talk about it. I'm so thankful for that. What about you?
Same. I'm thankful for this space. Thankful to God daily. You for pushing me, for always checking in, always locking in with me, motivating me when I'm at my lowest.
Likewise.
Just your beautiful family, my friends. Again, the studio, you guys are amazing. 1413, we see you. But just everyone that believes in me, our vision, the people that we trust. I'm just, there's so much gratitude in this space. And the fact that God has aligned everything to where we're able to complete a full season. So that's what I'm thankful for.
That's it. And look, we're not stopping here. This is only the beginning. I can't wait for season 2. And that's a wrap.
That's it, right. We did
that. Hey, millennials. Take care, guys. We'll see you in season 2. Thank you. Share, subscribe, give to a friend, and we'll see you on the other side.
All right. Y'all be good.
Yeah. This life will give you lemons and we'll give you lemonade. Just take the sour, mix it with the sweetness anyway. One thing about ingredients, they all inside of you. Maya and G just got the recipes for you to follow through. And when you do, pour it straight up to the top, toast it on up with a friend. Sit back, relax a little, laugh how you'll begin again. We know it's hard to move when it seems like you can't see, so go ahead and hit subscribe. Supplement your therapy with Maya and G. Yeah, it's full circle with Maya and G. Yeah, always for us and by us, never really about me. Come full circle with Maya and G. Yeah, this is full circle with Maya and G.